Welcome to another episode of For Footballers Only. I'm Mikey Diokitis.
I'm James Benet.
Welcome. Footballers Only is brought to you by DC11. As you can see, James is wearing the fly DC11 hoodie.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
all the culture, man.
Look at that. The logo tee.
Shout out to Non-Culture.
Yes. You see the glow in the dark. It's glowing.
True.
Yeah. It glows in the dark. You know what I mean? We just have to throw just a little something in there.
All right, that's hot.
Yes. All right. Today's episode, we're going to talk, we talk about this a lot, but it's about culture, right? It's about the culture of football in America, and the lack thereof, right? Compared to everywhere else, even compared to other sports in America that are rich in culture. Football, in my opinion, is lacking. Yeah. Here's the thing. So recently I was at we were at a game. Actually it was practice, and right next to us is an American football field. And it was like 9-year-olds.
Yes, I was there.
Oh yeah, you were there. Yeah.
What?
And James, the energy.
What?
Like, you cannot, as a kid, you can't not experience that and not be in love with the game.
Yeah.
I was like, we were on the other side of the gate. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't even in the stadium.
Yeah.
And it was rocking. It was just moving, like the sounds, the music, the cheering, like people, like
they had cheerleaders too, by the way.
Everything. These are 9-year-olds, or they weren't even 9. I don't know, maybe 7 or whatever it was. And the everybody. That's the other thing. Everybody had. Nobody even peeped this. I've always. There was 2 teams, right? Playing, and the stadium was literally down the line divided. The one team was like blue and silver on the left, and the other team was like black and red on the right. Like, so not only did the kids have on uniforms, all the parents and fans had on some gear, like just how the hoodie you wear, like everybody had on some gear, hats, like this and that. I'm just like, yo, look at this, like the energy, right? Now in our football, or what folks call soccer, that energy in America now, even at the, like, this is how crazy it is, James. Like, even if you go to like the top,
it's on few that's pack house, but
where?
Like Seattle.
You're talking about pro.
You talking about okay, not pro. You talking about local club? Yeah. No.
Remember, we're looking at 9-year-olds, right? This is 9-year-olds. We're looking at that. It was going crazy.
Yeah, you never see that.
Like, it's. Maybe I haven't been to like the community in Florida, but what I hear primarily, because it's all immigrants. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the mix of Caribbean immigrants, African immigrants, Latin American, and so like parts of Florida, the football culture there is insane. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing in Texas, in Houston.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of that is Latin America, and so maybe there, but everywhere else, even these programs that win, that are like has like hundreds of teams, they win everything in the state and all the leagues, etc.
Yeah.
You go to the games, you go to the like everything. It's just like you like to say, it's just robotic.
Robotic. It's robotic.
And I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't know why, because these same people are into American football, basketball, etc. And once it comes to, like, once they switch, like, once they're watching American, they'll go tailgating. You know what I mean? Like, when they go tailgating, they in their, like the full gear, you know what I mean? Like, even had their faces painted, like the chairs, so they understand it. You know, and even at a like youth level, like if you go to like high school, even high school, I mean middle school, not even high school, middle school basketball games, pack.
Yeah.
The music is like, you know, everybody's going wild. You know what I mean? Like it's weird, like as a, you know, like guys and they go in there to pick up girls, girls are going to the BC, you know what I mean? Like it's
cool.
what's popping, you know, like it's the culture. And so, and then of course, you know, in pop culture, it's referenced a lot, right? Yeah. So like, you know, you have musicians talking about it in movies, etc. And you know, for our football, it's something that's really missing. You know, it's interesting because you know, like when we do pickups, we have, you know, our music systems playing, etc. And you know, like parents who are new to us.
What's going on here?
Yeah. They're always trying to like are you kids supposed to be playing? And I'm like,
should be quiet.
Yeah,
like tennis.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, this is part of the culture. You know, like this is like they need to enjoy the entire environment, and everything that surrounds the game, and not just playing the game.
Yeah,
right. That's what creates the culture. Like, so even, you know, like we're big on. I'm like a fanatic about like gear. Do you know what I mean? Like I think the gear needs to be fly. I think it needs to be. It needs to be like amazing quality, amazing design, you know, like all of that. And so like, it's not just something people are going to wear when they're playing the game. It's something they're going to wear when they're going out, when they're going shopping, when they're, you know, hanging out, etc. And that's how it is with all the other sports.
Even growing up, it's like sometimes the way you look, you perform. Even as a young kid, right? They want to look cool, wear all type of stuff like the jersey. You perform, you feel good. But like going to like the culture thing, right? I think culture for me is, again, I said that before, we need a superstar, right? So a rapper can reference to it. If you're a rapper or a pop star or whatever, you can rep here in the US. Now, most of this, they probably hear about Cristiano Ronaldo, they hear about Messi here in the US, this rapper, this artist, but it really can't relate. They don't know like what city Messi is from, but imagine he's from DC, right? We know he's from DC, he's from Southeast or something like that. You can reference, you can relate to him, right? So I just think that's what we need, because most of, like with basketball, most of those guys that come from the inner city, or they come from a state or area where people can reference them, or they live in that area as well. So I think we just need a culture. We need a Michael Jordan, because that's how culture starts, right? MJ started with his shoes. Everyone's rocking shoes, right? Making it a little cool. Like here in the US, we haven't got close to that. Right?
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering though is like, okay, I know we're primarily talking about the men's game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking for the women's game.
Is the culture there? That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like, I would think, you know, you have like, I mean, go back to Mia Hamm. Yeah, from Mia Hamm on. And that might explain, you know, the energy that surrounds the women's team and the women's game here, period.
I agree. I think within the women's sport, I think it's been a winning program.
Yeah.
So I think there is a culture. The culture is going to make it to the World Cup. We're going to make it to the Olympics, and we're going to win, right? Yeah. So every young girl, think about that. We're going to go to the World Cup. Mia Hamm did it. We're going to go to the World Cup. We're going to win the World Cup. So I think that's the beautiful culture, right? Yeah. If the U.S. male on the men's side, we have won the World Cup, right? Every kid would think I can do it. And in the U.S., the women program have done it multiple times.
Yeah. From
the youth level, from, you know, every I've done it. So for me, I think that was a good question, but I think it is the culture, right? The culture to win World Cup. But for me, when I'm talking about culture, it's like, is it cool, right? Because basketball, even on the women's side, it's cool. The WNBA is cool. We watch some of the commercials, it's cool. They're making it look cool. The lifestyle, right? Even though the U.S. women, if you go in the inner city right now, you speak to a young lady about the women's soccer, she probably don't even know.
Yeah.
Right? No, you're right. It's not that cool in the sense of like, you know, if you talk about a WNBA, like a little girl probably knows somebody. Right? It's cool, right? Yeah. So I think it's, for me, when I speak about the culture part, is that I think the U.S. women side, they have the foundation, in a sense of the like we were winning team.
But I think I get what you're saying. You're saying they're still missing that women's. So you know, okay. Here's the thing. For I think they're getting close with Dennis Rodman's daughter Trinity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're like she's a baller, and they're you know, the forces are getting behind her to kind of like give her that stamp, to make her, you know, give her like, you know, the look and the cool factor.
Plus, your dad was like crazy.
Yeah. No,
that's
exactly.
the culture right there.
Exactly.
She have to be. It's true.
Yeah.
She's coming from a legacy, from a culture already within it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good marketing scam.
Like I mean, I saw something recently with her, and I was like, I see where this is going. You know what I mean? I peep this, and I mean, you know, I think that's great. But I see your point. I think you know, part of it in the US is like to your point about like having a true superstar. A lot of the superstars, the US superstars, are not people that are like that have charisma,
swag.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're not people that people are drawn to, right? Like everybody, like, you know, even if you don't like this guy, you're drawn to Ronaldo, you know, Cristiano. Like you know, like even if you don't like Pogba, you're drawn to him. You know what I mean? Like even if you don't like Neymar, you're still drawn. Like so, there's so much. There's just a lot there, you know, like there's style, there's confidence, you know, and so this is why you have like these old stars come in their last days to the US, and you know, they're still like the marquee player, you know, like Zlatan came and like he was like, you know, LA should thank him for coming. You know what I mean?
For being here as president.
Yes.
No, that's kind of bad though. You're right.
Yeah. So no, I mean, but that's what it is. You know, if you like, so you need some guys and girls that really have that it factor, you know, and have them on the national stage, and then you put that push behind them with marketing, and you know, those kind of things, and so then they can then start, you know, moving the needle. But yeah, I mean,
and I also think like within culture too, right? Or even having a passion, that excitement, it comes with understanding, right?
Yeah.
So, and for me, it's just like the lack of understanding. Culture is created, like you said. Most kids that play American football, basketball, they know they're gonna have like they'll understand everything. Yo, I can get a contract, I can get a big mansion, right? But here in the US, they don't think they can do that within football or soccer, right? Yeah. They don't think you can do that. Maybe like financially, we're not ready yet in the US, but you can do that overseas. You can get those big mansions like Pogba or Ronaldo. So the lack of understanding, they don't think it's cool, right? So that's what the education is important for, not even for the parents, but the kids. Like, yo, you can. It's a global sport. You can make that top. You can live that lifestyle because it's all about lifestyle. Because those kids are like, oh, look at it. I want that shoes. You know, I want this. So the lifestyle, we gotta like market it in a sense where it's like it's exciting to these kids, right? I'm not. Of course, I mean, I'm not going to say that the kids got to understand financial literacy. I'm going to clarify that real quick. But the lifestyle is important. Because you never know who's listening.
No. Of course. You have to be, you know, financially literate. But here's the thing, you know, what I've said this before, and I'll say this again. To your point about culture and you know, the cool factor, really, I think is what you're getting at. You know, one of the things I think that can easily move this forward is if the US, I mean, if say the MLS, right? The MLS really got together and said, you know what? Let's get like 5 of our young stars that are also friends, and let's rent out you know, some condos or whatever it is in the summer,
like off season,
in summer in Miami, and then in the summer in LA, right? And just record them and kind of put it like do a 7-part series TV show, something like that, right?
Like a reality show. Ooh.
Yeah, I keep saying this.
That would be cool.
What this would do, one, it will familiar lot. Everyone would start knowing, oh, that's X, whatever it is. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, these are kind of girls, right? Oh, he also like, like I like his style. Oh, I don't like his style, but I like his, his boy style, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see these guys, they're driving the G-Wags and whatever it is, right? And you're gonna create pop stars.
Yeah.
Out of these guys.
Mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. And it should be like, likable guys too. That's the other part. It can't be like, like the
you can't force a superstar.
Yeah.
That's what they try to do here in the US.
Yes.
They try a lot of people.
Yes, I know.
You can't force it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, right? Like it needs to be like people that, and like I've never seen her in person, but I've seen, a few interviews or clips of Trinity Rodman, right? Yeah. And she's a star. You know what I mean? Like, even if she wasn't as technically good as she is, she would still be a star. Yeah. She's a star. You know, like she has that like she has it, right?
Like everything.
Yeah. And it's crazy to me because like there are a couple of people, like I know these, like, I mean, I don't know them personally, but I could see and I could pick out, like, even on the US women's national team, for instance, right? I can pick out 3 or 4 people that will be superstars. I'm talking will have massive appeal. Yeah. But they're not being pushed, in the right way. Instead of focusing on these 3 or 4 people, they're focusing on these 3 or 4 people. And it's like, it's not going anywhere. It's like, and it's the same thing with the men's game as well. There's people who have it. Like, what I mean? Like, and you can try to force it and like try to sell people but if it's not real, it's not real.
We're gonna tell, man.
You can't. I mean, you cannot. You can't. Now the people they've been pushing, they have a certain appeal, but the appeal is limited. I think this is the part that's hard. It's hard to come to grasp with. For a lot of the executives and people in positions of power is that they may naturally have an affinity for a certain player or a certain type of person. Yeah. But that's not who the world, is interested in. Do you know what I mean? And because that person doesn't really have it. That person, they're okay, but they're not the real deal. Yeah. Whereas, this is even crazy. Like, if you remember Mario, right? Balotelli. Yeah. On that Italian team, right? I mean, even before that, this guy was viewed as a troublemaker, right? I mean, viewed like just like, whatever it is. Crazy. But yet, he had it. And because of that, everybody from Man City, all the teams he played on, even the Italian team, they knew
we gotta keep him.
and not just that, we're gonna put him at the forefront. Yeah. Right? Because this is gonna push Italian football further. This is gonna push Man City, whatever it is. And because even though he's like, he's gonna get in trouble or whatever it is, he still had, even when he got to get in trouble. I remember this crazy interview where he got arrested, right? And the whole thing was that he was driving too fast or whatever, and he was pushing like a Lamborghini or something like that. And the cop arrested him, and he had 20,000 pounds on him, right? And and this is what they publish in the newspaper. That's what, like, you just gotta love it, right? So the guy said, so the cop was like, what do you like? That's why do you have 20,000 on you? Like, you do something. He was like, no, I mean, it's just chump change for me. You know what I mean? Like, to you, this might be a year's pay, but to me, this is just like a couple of, like
tonight.
Yeah, this is like weekend money. You know what I mean? Like, and so just even that, right? Like having I don't even know what it is, but to tell that to a cop, you know what I mean? Like, he becomes the people's champ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But of course he's get in trouble, but everybody realized that that's part of it.
Yeah, he make money.
Yeah, that's part of it, you know? So
Mhm.
I think that's what's lacking is this, you know, true understanding of like someone who really has the it factor.
Mhm.
And you know, and a lot of these people are buzzing on social media and they may have like, you know, one or two little deals here, but it's not really a push behind them. They're
Yeah.
trying to push, you know, like something else. It is not the real deal. And
Yeah.
nobody's feeling it. Nobody's going out trying to
And I
be
want to
like,
add on a little thing too. Like, see, I like to compare American sports like basketball to football, soccer. Like, you look at someone like Allen Iverson, right?
yep,
When you first got in the league, right? No one's wearing tattoos,
yep,
right? Maybe they was wearing it, but it was hiding under their jerseys, right?
mm-hmm,
Allen Iverson had the sleeves of the tattoo. At the
yep,
time, what people don't know, he was that's an icon. He was becoming an icon, but people were like, oh, we don't like this, but wearing his
yep,
do-rag, but
yep,
not look. Even from basketball is into soccer. Everyone has tattoos, right?
yep,
And then to be honest, Allen Iverson was that culture. And like you said, the NBA knew it. It's like, ooh,
yep,
yeah, he's everywhere, he's on every video game,
yep, yep,
right? It was just pushing that because it was that's why the kids love it. He was and he can play. But one of the things is because I think it wasn't forced, right? Most of he was getting a tattoo, it was based on his environment.
Yeah.
Where he was coming from. So it was natural,
Yep.
right? So nothing was for this way. That's how people dress, like where he grew up.
Yeah.
But not only that, now a lot of kids from his neighborhood want to be like Iverson, right?
Yep.
Not only that you're pushing culture, but you're also saving life in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Having kids who have dreams.
Yep.
You can be from Norfolk, West Virginia, but I can be like Allen Iverson, right? So that's what we need. We need that natural thing, right? Not like being forced on. When it's natural, it's real. People feel when stuff is real. Yeah. No matter what, you can feel it. Oh,
yeah. No. I mean that's why I think like the Mario thing is.
I know. Everyone's talking about Mario.
Yep. Yeah, like
think about it. If you're not Italians, I get a lot of like players of color now because that type of influence. Mario had on it.
Yes. Yes.
Actually.
Yes. Yes.
I mean? So,
yeah. So I mean, I think that's a big part of it is like embracing, the natural. And so, for the US, for instance, like, you get three, let's just say three guys in the Miami condo and then three in the LA condo. Cool. And just, tape them for the summer and just watch them get busy, and I'm telling you.
I mean, I don't want to say this on air, but I'll say it, but right? You can actually call some of these guys, even in the club are not doing it, we can do it. Because you think it's funny, but some of those kids, the club don't give it that attention. Yeah. If we have some people that can really, we can actually just call them like on Instagram, we'll put you guys over here, we'll get you trainers. I'm sorry, but we'll talk later after this. I feel like I got some ideas, man. I don't want to say well, yet, but no.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's a lifestyle. I don't know, man. You didn't do it. I think I would pick a city we should do it in. You didn't get DC, right? Houston.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. And then pick what they want to do.
Yeah. Imagine. No, I mean, it can be crazy. It can
somebody really, gonna say this idea. Trust me.
No, I mean, here's my thing. My thing is, I just want to push the culture forward.
That's true.
Right? In the US is where I am right now. And so I want to push the culture forward. And so anyone that's truly, and that, that entails a lot of things, right? Anyone that's developing footballers.
Yeah.
Like anything I say or we do as the club, go ahead, and any of it resonates with you, make it happen.
Yeah.
Any idea, you hear, or it may, spark something of interest, go ahead and make it happen. Like, for me, it's not, taking the credit, for these things. It's more so adding value to the culture and pushing it forward. And so if this, if this idea, for instance, is gonna lead to the game, adding some like true culture component, the coolness, etc. If that's gonna like happen. And
Yeah.
somebody from like David Beckham, let's just say with the Miami team wants to do that,
Yeah.
go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You're right. I like that because let's say it's a country like Brazil, they want like it's an information is passed on to everybody. They don't like one person's not hiding it from the other.
No,
It's
no.
like it's a national thing.
Yeah.
Nationalist, right?
Yeah.
We doing this for a whole bigger cause for a whole country. You know, we're gonna export this.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Thinking about it, that's what they was thinking.
Right.
It's not just for me, but this is for us.
Yes.
And I think that's the best way. You know, that's the best way to think about it. Because I think nowadays, a lot of culture, or most of us in this coaching thing, we really, in a way, I mean, because we all try to be the winningest coach and this and this. So we hide information because we all have gifts, right? Each individual, we can come together and share. Because, like you said, the whole goal is to develop these kids and make the process of this kids very smooth and build that culture, right? So whatever you can affect the culture, we add it together. And but sometimes, a lot of things play parts in it because the US don't have no culture, so everyone trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah,
everyone think they have the answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get the ego and all those kind of things. I mean, I get all that, but I think for me, if you're, seriously doing work to help develop footballers, we're on the same team. No matter if you're in, Jersey or Oklahoma, or France or Accra. We're on the same, I mean, like we're on the same team, and people find it even strange. Like people have asked me, because on IG, for instance, right, I would find like a club in Lagos or in, I don't know, in South, Rio. And I would like not a national, like a youth club, like a youth club, whatever it is. And they'll have something about their training or highlights, whatever it is. And I will post it as an IG story on, for DC 11. And people were like, what? Like, why? And I'm like, wow. And so I have to explain to them that for me, the idea of developing football is not limited to just DC 11 or just my club.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, this is, if someone across the world is doing something to push the culture forward, and I have the ability to, and I come across it. That's the big part, right? Because I'm not going to be able to come across everything unless I just spend all my time, sourcing this stuff. But like I come across it, I'm gonna acknowledge it, right? To give them props, like, and who, what does it like? What does it take away from me or DC 11? To me, it adds to DC 11 by saying, we're really focused on developing footballers. And actually, I would have touched on this as it pertains to culture. So, when because I use intentionally, I've been using the hashtag developing footballers, right? And what when you see that, do not see that as just developing somebody that can play the game. A footballer and play the game at, like in their youth or whatever it is, right? Like the reason us are still footballers, way past
age,
right? It's because we truly develop as footballers, as kids, right? So it wasn't just something for us to do. It was it's life. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's gonna literally like it's gonna follow us till we drop.
No matter.
You know what I
mean? It's funny. It's nothing you can do. It's just it's in it. It's true.
Right. And so that's what, when I say developing footballers, that's what I'm talking about. So when you see us, when you see me, on the field, whatever, after practice, spending like 10 minutes talking to a kid about like, some obscure football fact or, some play or whatever, or just trying to like plant those little seeds. That's what that's about. it's not just about like the kid's ability to help me win, help my team win. That's not just them being a footballer. A footballer is like, not just the act of playing football, but the entire lifestyle.
Yep.
Understanding the history, understanding players who came way before them, players that they may want to mimic some of their game after, the jerseys, who like, why has Arsenal been so great at great jerseys? Like, Arsenal has like some, it is what it is.
I think Newcastle has some good jerseys.
No.
I'm a Chelsea fan, but Newcastle.
Trust me. Yes. Newcastle has, Chelsea, everybody, but Arsenal has been,
for years and years.
Yeah,
Arsenal was the first year I started wearing that yellow. Now everyone wearing yellow.
Yeah. Like, he talking about that history. Talking about cleats. Like, we can have conversations for days about like cleats designs, like all kinds. Yeah. So just like the simple things, right? Like the music, the fact that a lot of people don't even know. I think I was talking about this the other day, is that speaking of culture, right? I think you were there when I was talking to like Mohan and some of these guys about like if the Serie A, 90s Serie A was shown on TV in the US, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
Like culture would be full, like, because the entire pop culture in the US would be like stealing everything from Serie A. And and so everybody would know. And what has happened in a weird kind of way is like the NBA culture that everybody's like, copying.
Yeah.
Literally stole from like the whole look, right? Like,
from the 90s. No, it's true.
Yeah, from the 90s. Like the double, like the double chains.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like the earring, like the dangling earring. The dangling earring. The whole look.
Yeah.
All of it, right? And so it's all of that's culture. So when I'm talking to these kids, that's what we're talking about. Like, like what are they gonna add to the culture? Do you see what I mean? Like, because one thing is like, just if you focus on adding value, everything else is gonna take care of itself.
Yeah.
So what do you add into the culture? Are you coming up with it? Like, some people came up with moves.
Yeah.
Like the dribbling moves. Some people came up with like hairstyles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could just go down the line.
So many things you can do. But I think, like I said, right before, I think soccer was like a pastime sport. So some of those kids, I think we gotta tell them it's cool to do this. You can be cool like the guys in the NBA, right? So I think those kids think, I don't know how to say, I think they think soccer is like I don't know how to say it, right? Like a prep, like going to a prep school kind of way, right? Got to be all organized and this robotic again, right? So you can have flair, but I think it's more than that. So it's that education part. Like we gotta let them make sure. And I think we do a lot. We try to make it cool, like you said. The reason why we developed, because we came from the process. We came from it, from the bottom, from the ground, right? So it's in us. So we understand everything. So we understand it's cool to be cool. That's why whenever we're talking to them, I'm like, yo, you can be cool. You can be a dribbler, all that stuff. You can also be, if you like listening to music, like one of the kids that skateboard on DC 11, what's his name?
Cal.
Right, you can do that. You can come in with your skateboard. I practice. I mean, after practice, you skateboard back home. You can be cool like that. You can be different, but also your football.
If you want to be, do your BMX, whatever it is. And, and that's why, like, I intentionally try to capture all these different aspects to show that all of these aspects mix up football. Yeah, it's all part of the culture.
It is.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I agree. I think culture is key, and culture is constantly evolving. I think that's the other part that folks need to understand. It's not just like we can't get into this mindset that, oh no, football has to be the way it was in the 80s or the way it was in the 90s or the way the 2000. No, it's constantly evolving. And so I think our role is to help add to the culture, as well as foster an environment where young players can see how
and they can create.
Just keep adding, pushing the culture forward.
Oh, definitely.
So we do this for the culture.
Yeah.